The Arcturian Group, August 27, 2017. By Marilyn Raffaele. Webpage, www.onenessofall.com. Greetings, dear ones. We seek through these messages to answer some of the questions you may still hold silently and secretly within. Because it is a new and energetically powerful time with so much taking place, many are questioning how your observations align with the idea you hold about these times. The world in general has been comfortably ensconced in third-dimensional thinking throughout the ages, and thus the awareness and integration of new and higher light frequencies is causing some confusion because many of the changes taking place seem unnecessary, that some things are perfectly acceptable just as they are. Some things will not totally change, but will gently and gradually shift into higher expression. For example, medical personnel and hospitals will not disappear, but will become more open and receptive to higher and better forms of caring for and healing those who come to them. Individual reactions may vary from, "I have lots of life experience, and this is the right way for things to be done," to "too much change is never good." Dear ones, very little is going to remain the same for those who have chosen to move into and live from higher dimensional energies. The manifestations of duality and separation must eventually dissolve when there is no longer anything to hold them in place. This is not to say that the world as a whole will suddenly cease having experiences of duality and separation, but you personally will find your life becoming ever more reflective of the peace and harmony embodied within a consciousness of oneness. For years, and through lifetimes of experiences, you have been preparing for these times. You have been confronted with and have released physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually painful stored cellular memories and the fears you have dragged through many lifetimes. As you replace these old heavy energies with light and truth, you make yourselves fit vehicles for truer ways of believing, living, and being. Even those spiritually ready, but not fully aware of this fact, are feeling the intensity of sacred light pouring to earth and available for all to accept. You have arrived. The time is now. Be patient, and avoid believing that nothing ever changes, or things are just getting worse, or it is all a hoax. Because things may look that way. The integration of new and higher frequencies into the physical must be a process, as the human body could not withstand the intense higher frequencies were they to integrate all at once. Continually waiting for this or that particular experience as necessary proof of evolution is an exercise of futility based in concepts. Judging yourselves against the experiences of some saint or holy person, ideas in some book you may have read, or rigid religious concepts of what constitutes spirituality, simply reflect a belief in separation. Every person's soul journey is unique, and your experiences will never mirror another's because everyone has lived through different experiences in hundreds of lifetimes. Every individual has their own chosen lessons to learn and truths to integrate while on earth in physical form. All are one with Source, all, no exceptions. Every individual must eventually arrive at the full realization of the truth about themselves because it is the unchanging reality. Nothing exists outside of divine consciousness, and the sense of something other than that one is illusion. The world and all its natural kingdoms are not illusion. False concepts about the world and its natural kingdoms constitute the illusion. Everything you can become aware of is a mind-formed concept of a spiritual reality. For example, you are consciousness, not a physical body. Your real and permanent bodies are made of light. What you see and experience as the physical body is a concept of the permanent spiritual body reflecting your attained state of consciousness. We wish to speak about the spiritual journey. The idea of a journey is illusion, dear ones, for you have never been and never can be separate from the reality of who and what you are. The idea of an evolutionary journey began when souls, through a series of ancient events, forgot that they were individualized divine consciousness who had chosen to experience a sense of separation. Because their creations seemed so real, a sense of separation became their state of consciousness, and they continued to create experiences of separation manifesting as pairs of opposites, duality. Unity consciousness began to increasingly reflect these false creations, giving birth to the fear and negativity in all its forms. That is the three-dimensional world of today. You are now ready to remember who you really are. Healers are remembering ancient healing techniques, artists are remembering previously attained creative talents, and all willing souls are beginning to once again experience unconditional love and a sense of oneness. Many are starting to question man's inhumanity to man, and the natural world, even if they are not fully conscious of why their thinking has changed. Awakening happens through the higher self when an individual is ready for the next phase of their journey. Eyes are opening and beginning to see through appearances. Mankind is discovering that indeed the emperor has no clothes. This is evolution. Become an observer. Stand back, resting in your and everyone's identity as a spiritual being, and observe. Let go of the belief that you must heal, change, or fix anyone nor anything by translating what you see into the truth that underlies all appearances, that the world and everything in it is already perfect and whole. Recognize outer appearances of both good and bad to be manifestations of concepts and beliefs. Your realization of the truth helps to dissolve the energy of these miscreations, for there is nothing to hold them in place but a belief in them. This is healing. We do not say to ignore the suffering of others. Have your hand out and ready to grasp the hand of those seriously seeking answers, rather than simply wanting you to do their work for them. Never act to change another's path of learning in the belief that it is your duty to save them. This sort of thinking is based in human ego, a belief still touted by many religious groups, who teach that it is loving to step in and remove someone from a difficult situation they themselves may have specifically chosen for spiritual growth and learning. You must walk a fine line in these situations. It is different if a child, someone helpless, is at risk. Always seek out, trust, and let your intuition guide your actions. Because you now know that you are creators, you must honestly ask yourselves, what am I choosing to create? Do you intend to continue creating images of duality and separation simply because the world says it is the reality, or because these things are familiar and comfortable? Truth either is, or it is not. God either is, or is not. It is the free will choice of every individual as to which they accept, but understand that life can get very uncomfortable for those who choose to live with one foot in both worlds, as many have or are about to find out. The time has come to rest in truth, be the truth, and live the truth, releasing every remaining concept or belief built upon beliefs of separation from Source. It is time to claim your identity as God in expression. It is time to leap off the cliff, so to speak, trusting that you always have been, are now, and forever will be divine consciousness in expression regardless of appearances. We are the Arcturian group.